Hey, what's up? Welcome to the first episode of 2025. And I'm not going to lie, I forgot how wavy that beat was that we bought when we first started the show. Like, I was just vibing right now because Brian put together a new intro for the show. And we bought that beef off someone that you actually are familiar with in the New York City area.
Yes, Ghost Dave. Ghost Dave is a producer. You probably heard some of his beats on like Peter Rosenberg project, produced with some Griselda on it as well. Like he's done some really cool stuff. And if you love like just classic East Coast hip hop, he does that.
So shout out to Ghost Dave because that was actual fire. I forgot because it's been a minute since I listened to it longer
Like the
than 10
whole thing.
seconds. You know what I mean? So that was pretty dope. By the way, if you like the show, if you like the content, hit that like and subscribe button. If you have already done that, thank you so much. You can follow us on our social media channels. We're at the Mandatory TKO. You can also find us on the audio side, wherever you get your shows, podcasts. You can find us there. You got a couple of minutes, leave a rate and review because it helps the channel grow. So I feel this could happen because
Okay.
one of them is willing to come down a lot of weight. They've been going back and forth on social media a lot. Well, just one of them, it's kind of one-sided, which is how it usually goes. Claressa Shields said she would come down to 147 pounds and fight Amanda Serrano.
Oh shit.
This would not only be one of the biggest fights of all time in women's boxing history, but Amanda's won in different weight classes. Claressa's won in different weight classes. She said she would come down to 147 pounds and fight Amanda Serrano. And we know that there's been talk about who's the greatest woman of all time. And Amanda's been like, yo, Amanda's been humble this whole entire time. Amanda's like, yo, I've never said anything bad about you. And Clarissa's just like, I'm the greatest of all time. Like, we know Claressa is arguably the greatest of all time. I would say that she is, but also Amanda's up there too. This is a fight that I think boxing fans would go crazy over. And my bold prediction is that maybe we get this fight because what's next for both of these women? They've done everything. This would be a money grab. You don't even need Jake Paul for this. You don't need Jake Paul for this. You don't need to be the
Turk
co-main
either.
bro. You could just do this on your own, and you could put it anywhere. You could put it in New York for sure because it's Amanda Serrano.
Please do.
You could do it at Little Caesars Arena if you wanted to. Please don't do that. You could do it in Vegas. You could do it anywhere. This would be also one of the biggest fights of the century, hands down. And could you imagine the presser, Amanda being humble and Claressa going off for no reason? It would be crazy, right? Like that's the way it would be. And honestly, Brian, if this fight was to ever happen, I like it more than Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia next year, and I have it tied with Canelo and Bud. In fact, I think I'm getting excited for it right now.
I know. I can tell.
Like I'm making myself believe this might happen because if Clarissa's down to go to 147, she gets a nutritionist. She's never fought at that weight class. She's always fought heavier than that, except for like, when she was younger, amateurs and all that.
Sure, yeah.
Then you can count that, but she was like young during that time. But she's willing to do it, yo. And like I love it. I absolutely love it. By the way, if you haven't seen Fire Inside, her movie.
It's good.
It's great.
Okay.
It's great. I at one point I cried in the movie because it was so inspirational. I was like crying, and the person I went was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "It's just so inspirational." I don't know why I was so emotional watching this movie, but I like because the thing about it is that like I don't think we actually realize the impact of women like Claressa Shields and Amanda Serrano and the impact they're making right now. Like I don't think we're seeing it, but I don't think we'll actually know until like years later how much they've done for the sport.
Totally.
And it's like when you watch that movie, you already see how much like these women have done, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Like, and by the way, this is like off topic, but Layla Ali was on Andre Ward's show. Great interview. Like I sat down and watched the whole thing. Great interview. So if you haven't seen it, go see it too.
Did she talk about Claressa Shields?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
She talked about their beef because when Claressa Shields was on Andre's show earlier, she talked about it, and Layla Ali kind of gave all the details. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's great. But yeah, if you haven't seen Claressa Shields' movie, go see it. And also, my bold prediction is that Claressa Shields and Amanda Serrano could happen this year because they've done everything. Like, what more do they have? What more do these ladies have to do? Like at this point, nothing, dude.
That's the selling point for me This is another Canelo Crawford situation, but this one I think. Uh,
Because
so
Amanda's won in different weight classes too. Like she doesn't care.
never welterweight, but here's why I think this could happen. Two
Yeah.
things. One,
Wait. So you do also believe this could happen?
no, I agree with you.
Okay.
I agree with you. I wouldn't have prior, but like in thinking more about it as you were breaking it down too, I'm like, no, this could actually happen for a couple different reasons. One is I think Claressa Shields is dead ass serious. Like she would do this. And I think when it comes down to it, Amanda Serrano would do it. She's gonna look around like she hasn't fought beyond super lightweight. And Claressa Shields has never fought below as a pro super welterweight. So this would literally be meeting in the middle at a weight class at a weight class that neither have fought at as a pro, 147. If you look around, and this is why I think this could happen more than anything else, what challenges do they have left? Claressa Shields is going to fight in a heavyweight title fight, Danielle Perkins. And all due respect to her, she's not on the list of this is who Claressa Shields absolutely needs to fight before she retires. Whereas Amanda Serrano, I think she's done it basically all. And she fought Katie Taylor twice and beat her arguably twice. I would think most people would say at least once. There's some people that would say one and a draw.
Beat her twice and got robbed once.
Right. And the other was probably more debatable. But the point of it is like she's basically done it all. So what's left? And I mean, this is like up there in terms of like who else is she gonna fight? The name that I think Amanda Serrano, like this is one of the fights I want to see this year. I would love to see Amanda Serrano fight Alicia Baumgardner. Like to me, that's sort of the fight for her next.
But here's the thing: Claressa Shields is like, yo, Alicia, come up to 147. I'll fight you too. Like this
just commented that.
Right? Like, yes, Marlon, Baumgardner and Shields was building a fight. I want that too. I agree. Like the thing about it is I think Claressa Shields, if my grandma was talking shit, she would fight my grandma. Like Claressa Shields doesn't care who it is. She wants to smoke with everybody. And it's because she knows she can beat everybody.
She also recognizes that like all the big fights in women's boxing right now are in weight classes under hers. So she's probably going to be willing to, as you said, like get with a nutritionist, figure out the healthiest way to just shed down to 147 or whatever and get some of these big fights.
So this is what I'm going to say because and this is no disrespect to Alicia Baumgardner because I'm a huge fan of hers. But, there was also the steroid stuff that came up, and I think she has a lot going on. And when it comes to selling a fight, Baumgardner and Shields would be like electric. It would be like must-see television. I would not miss a presser, be great on social media. They could sell this fight with their eyes closed. But in terms of legacy, like Claressa doesn't have to fight her. Right? Amanda doesn't have to fight Alicia either. Like, even though it's a very entertaining fight, like they don't have to do that because they're at different points in their career. Right? Like Alicia is still like, she could arguably be the face of women's boxing at some point. She's one of the faces, right?
But she would need them more than they need her.
Exactly. Yeah. So they don't need to fight Alicia. But like if Claressa Shields and Amanda Serrano were to fight each other, not only could we possibly get more than one fight because we know these ladies are going to bring it, but at the same time, it's a legacy fight, right? This could, we talked about fights of the century. This could be one of the fights of the century. Like I'm excited for it already. Let's make it happen. Like who do they got to go to? Turk? Because they don't need Jake Paul. Take MVP out the way.
Well, Amanda won't do that. She'll work through MVP.
It has to be. Yeah, she's too loyal. She's too loyal of a woman. You know what I mean?
She's a great person. And look, here's the thing too. Like Alicia Baumgardner's last fight against Delphine Persoon, which fell way under the radar, was at Lux Studios in Atlanta. It looked small. Like it was weird. This was a return fight after 14 months away because of potentially steroids. We still don't know what the hell happened there. Like she kept all her titles too. There was no real suspension, like long-term suspension. There was allegedly an investigation, but she just kind of cleared herself and we just moved on. And this happened and it looked, and Delphine Persoon was like older, looked injured, got knocked down early, and it ended in a no contest because of like a cut. And that was kind of, it came and went, and it was something that barely anybody mentioned because on the same day, Sandy Ryan fights Michaela Mayer, which is a much bigger fight. Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns get traded for one another also. Like there was that dominated the sports sort of cycle, was NFL and all those different
Did
things.
Trump also get shot that day?
I don't remember if that
it was in the
that day.
summertime. I think it was in the summer.
Yeah,
I think
it might have been earlier. Jeez.
in the year.
That dude's about to get inaugurated. That's a whole other.
Yeah.
Anyway, Xander Zayas also fought that day, and then there was another card I want to say that was going on. It might have been UFC. UFC has something big going on that day or something along those lines. I'm trying to remember, but there was something else in combat sports that day that was pretty significant. And Alicia Baumgartner fell way under the radar. So I think her versus Amanda is like pretty realistic, and it seems like both sides would want that fight. But if you told me Amanda Serrano's gonna fight Claressa Shields at welterweight, like, I mean, I'll tune in. I will tune in. I will be intrigued, and I have no idea who's winning that fight, because you could say, hey, the weight class is too big for Amanda Serrano, but you could say like Claressa Shields is gonna fucking try to kill herself making the weight.
Well, I think those are the interesting facts about it, and that's why I think it's a big possibility. This is my bold prediction for 2025.